Greetings, my name is JLSanmiguel. The following presentation is a remake of an existing presentation titled The Three Phases of Educational Technology. The original presentation explains the different ways that teachers tend to move through technology as they begin to implement it in the classroom setting. The presentation slides are congested with sentences, font size is unreadable, and the slides have too many objects. The presentation that you're about to see is a remake of the original presentation using 5 simple best practices in multimedia design as described by David J.P. Phillips. The 3 phases of educational technology are ways of describing how teachers tend to move through technology as they begin to implement it in the classroom in a systematic way. The 3 phases are described as phase 1, 2, and 3. There is no hierarchy between the different phase levels. One level is not any more important than any other phase. Phase 1 is often where most teachers start and usually involves some type of dynamic presentation, replacing the whiteboard or chalkboard. Teachers often use their own computers with some type of a multimedia presentation, a video presentation, or an interactive board presentation. Teachers often move to phase 2 technology once they become comfortable with phase 1. In phase 2, typically what happens is that textbooks are replaced with electronic forms. Students are using technology to access content knowledge. In many cases, the lesson is very traditional, but the key is that the students are using online sources to access the content knowledge. Often, this content knowledge is in the form of web searches, wiki spaces, and online resources. Phase 3 integration requires a paradigm shift in terms of what happens in a typical classroom. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are often ways to take technology and infuse it into more traditional lessons. Phase 3 begins to change the way teachers teach. There are 2 parts in the third phase of technology integration. In the first part of phase 3, technology integration focuses on how teachers get their content standards infused into 21st century skills such as communication, collaboration, and creation in a typical classroom today. The second part of phase 3 focuses on involving students to be publishers of their product to a wider audience using Web 2.0 methodologies. Traditionally, work has been turned in to teachers and the teacher provides feedback, and that's really an audience of one. In phase 3, students play a different role. Students begin to see as producers of information rather than simply consumers of information. There are many Web 2.0 tools that enable students to build creative in collaborative projects, the key to do this is that there is some type of product at the end. The end product can be a traditional research paper, a movie, or a podcast. As mentioned before, the second part of Phase 2 focuses on involving students to be publishers of their product to a wider audience. Using Web 2.0 methodologies, students can reach a wider audience such as a classroom, a school, a district, or even the world. The key is to bring the students' work to a wider audience so that their work can be seen by the wider audience. Once a student's work has been produced and published, this sets up the students as audience and student as peer reviewer. Again, thinking about Web 2.0 methodologies, work can be commented upon. Students can actually act as reviewers, and if it is structured the right way through the use of rubrics and other types of assessment models, we have a built-in student assessment model. Therefore, so we have feedback cycle that is now closed. Students as producers, students as publishers, students as audience, and students as peer reviewers.